To cultivate a saving culture, the government has offered to top up a shilling for every 2 shilling one saves, capping at 6,000 shillings annually. President William Ruto says this will be through a national savings drive meant to encourage especially those in the informal sector to set up their retirement savings plan. As Hibak Said narrates, this will be powered by an overhaul of the social security infrastructure.
Kenya's current national savings is under 10% of the gross domestic product, translating to an investment saving deficit of 15%. In his address to the 13th Parliament, President William Ruto advocated for a comprehensive national savings plan, which would propel the country to an upper middle income state by incentivizing savings.
For every 2 shillings saved in the scheme, up to a maximum of 6,000 a year, the government will contribute a shilling for every 2 shillings saved by the private sector. Meaning that every Kenyan who will save 6,000 a year, the government of Kenya will give them 3,000 shillings.
President Ruto says the National Social Security Fund has gaps that do not cater to a majority of low-income earners and especially those in the informal sector, forcing them into alternative saving methods that do not offer sufficient payback during retirement.
The NSSF and private only cater for people in formal employment, thereby excluding the vast majority of working Kenyans. There is no retired Kenyan today who is living on their NSSF retirement benefits. The meager current contribution of Kenya shillings 200 a month adds up to 72,000 over 30 years. There is no rate of return on earth that can grow this into an adequate pension.
The head of state disclosed the government's intention to restructure the NSSF due to the impractical returns it accrues over time.
The very large government borrowing requirements has also undermined the business sector contribution to national savings and investment efforts. These measures outlined above will also address the problem of government crowding out the private sector from the credit market. It will encourage banks to go back to lending to businesses and also bring down interest rates so that the private sector can also contribute to reducing the savings investment deficit.
President Ruto also spoke about turning the country's debt-laden state as borrowing to finance recurrent expenditure is unsustainable. He aims to make Kenya move from relying on borrowing about 900 billion shillings to finance the budget, as is the case in the current financial year, to have a recurrent budget surplus within the next 3 years. Hibak Said for Prime Edition.